Rahul Gandhi's grandfather was fighting alongside the Nazis while serving in Mussolini's army. Even as RSS leaders Dada Naik Chimur, Ramdas Rampure, Tukorji Maharaj, and Hemu Kalani willingly faced the noose in the fight for India's independence. No wonder they hate the RSS. Everyone thinks Pranesh he is a fascist until the real fascist arrives. And the real fascist is the Congress. From amending the constitution to trampling upon free speech to junking the constitution by proclaiming the emergency, from overturning democratically elected state governments to overturning the Supreme Court judgments. What has the Congress not done that isn't fascist? Anyone who says anything not liked by the Gandhis is either made to apologize or thrown out or suspended. And they call the RSS fascist. The Congress has not just an illogical but also a pathological hatred for the RSS, Pranesh. So much so that they attribute everything evil that has ever happened in this country to the RSS. No other opposition party, perhaps with the exception of the Muslim League, hates the RSS so much. And guess who is the coalition partner of the Muslim League? Look, Rahul Gandhi routinely claims that no one from the RSS took part in the freedom struggle. I guess the WhatsApp University dropout doesn't know the legendary names like Devi Prasad Chaudhary, Jagatpati Kumar, Anna Sahib Deshpande, Ramakant Keshav, Vasant Rao Oak, Narayan Singh, Chandrakant Bhardwaj, Dada Naik Chimur, Babu Rao Begade, Lala Hansraj, Balaji Raipurkar, and Hemu Kalani, who participated in our freedom struggle and quit India movement and gladly faced the gallows. From having to apologize for the lie that the RSS killed Gandhi to Congress leaders claiming 2611 was an RSS conspiracy, there is no opportunity the Congress has missed to slander the RSS. It first banned the RSS in 1947. The ban was lifted by Sardar Patel when he himself wrote to Nehru that RSS was not involved in the assassination of Gandhi. Then the Congress under Nehru banned the RSS organizer, jailed its editor. And then Indira Gandhi banned government employees from taking part in RSS activities. So government employees could fervently believe in political, supremacist, exclusivist, othering aspects of some religions, believe in religious brotherhoods over and above India, could refuse to sing Vande Mataram, could take part in activities of all other organizations including SDPI and Muslim League, but not the RSS. But what takes the cake, Pranesh, is the following instance. Just give me 30 seconds. Justice Yashwant Chandrachud, the former Chief Justice of India and father of the recent Chief Justice, recommended not once but twice to the Supreme Court the name of Justice Chandorkar of the Bombay High Court. But it was rejected both times of the Congress. You know why? Because Chandorkar made the fatal mistake of attending the funeral of RSS Chief Golwalkar. How do we know this? Because of a book called Supreme Whispers written by Chandrachud. Look. While Rahul Gandhi was busy vacationing, 507,656 RSS volunteers set up at 92,656 locations, distributing 46.63 million food packets, opening 483 treatment centers during COVID. And as for the Party of Freedom Struggle, on August 15, 1947, Mountbatten told Nehru to not lower the Union Jack because it would make him unhappy. Nehru agreed. The INA protested. They weren't allowed to enter the Red Fort. The British flag wasn't even lowered on our Independence Day. And finally, 10 seconds. Quote, Quit India movement is irresponsible and insane, displaying bankruptcy and statesmanship by a prophet of a dark age, unquote. Who said this? Ambedkar.